real 25-year run. Fuck they talk about Cabo? What they talking about, man? I ain't been back 12 hours yet. Rock it up.
A 50. You bring the 50 up, dude. Shit looking type slick. I don't know, Black.
They both good, but they no good. They stay in the house. Them the house phones. That's the iPhone. That's a real iPhone 4. Cabo, what's up? What they talking about? I like the hat. Chunky on the chest, no homo. Real chunky, man. I will get a couple.
Mase taught me how to rap, and Cam always made sure I was on every single album he had. He was like, boy, once you figure out how to rap the same way you act in these streets, it's gonna work for you. Just keep going. And that's all so I always gotta give credit to where credit is due and shit like that. It would be no Jim Jones.
This shit ain't no game. They can't play with me too much. I give them the floor to do that because that serves me no purpose. I got too much to worry about, too much to do.
What was your reaction when Camron brought up all these old stories and everything about you?
I laugh, man. I got this thing, man. People laugh at the lies, but the truth always hurt. You know, lies are more entertaining. You heard? You get to laugh, you get the joke, but the truth is a serious thing, no matter how you look at it. The truth is what the truth is.
Every nigga that put hands on you or you get to altercation, you cool with him. You tried to chase French Montana out the game, that ain't work out. Y'all got cool. So cool that you go to his video shoot, pardon me, not his video shoot, his movie. You're sitting in the crowd watching the premiere and they dissing you in the movie. You in the movie getting dissed, you gotta eat it, just sitting in the crowd. Nah, they dissing you in the movie that you went to go see, bro. Every nigga that do something to put pressure on you, you sit there and work it out. But when they got a little genuine heart for you and all that, cool, that's the pattern. If they don't put hands on you, then you can keep going on and on and on. But the niggas who do this, you cool with, and then the niggas who try to handle it sophisticatedly, you keep going on and on like niggas give a f about all that shit, bro. So niggas don't care about none of that shit, man. Niggas don't care a little bit, man. What I'll finish with is this, man. I'm never here to downplay your character. As much as you try to degrade my character for years and push me under the bus and say, I ain't start this and I ain't do that, and you started Pink and you made the Diplomats, which is just... Do you ever hear me talk about when you ran on me when BMF pulled up? When you ran in the hotel, they chased you to the beach. Yeah, they chased you to the beach, you was in the sand. You was getting wet from the water, from the ocean. I don't pump that. I don't pump all that shit because I ain't trying to make the great your character. You know why? Because the revolution was televised. That's why I'm here. That's why God worked like that. That's why me and Murder is here. The revolution was televised because you talking.
This whole situation isn't just about old stories coming back up. It's about how truth and entertainment collide in the internet era. When those past moments between Camron and Jim Jones were brought up again, Jim didn't explode or get emotional. He laughed. Not because it meant nothing, but because he understands that lies travel faster when they sound entertaining. Rumors get clicks, jokes get shared, and narratives spread when they're dramatic. But the truth sits heavier. It doesn't need exaggeration. Jim made it clear that he knows who helped shape him Mase with technique, Cam with confidence and vision, and he gives credit where it's due. At the same time, mentorship doesn't mean ownership of someone's rise.
I was at Jim album release party, and everybody was over there with Jim, and Cam is standing over here with like 3 or 4 people just looking on and couldn't believe that Jim is the guy. There's no Dipset without Jim. Jim is the gangbanger of the crew. Cam is not a blood. I don't even know if Jewels was. I doubt Freaky was, right? But the set, it comes from the gang shit, right? All the gang all ran under Jim.
Right.
All of the muscle was Jim. That wasn't Cam. You know what I'm saying?
Cam was like the Jay-Z.
Cam was the artist. Jim and Cam were partners, so to speak. But Jim took the role of being the underboss, the muscle, to make sure that Cam could function and move around and not have a bad reputation or be getting robbed and all this other stuff. So Jim put his he stood front line for anything in regards to Cam, and then he put Dipset in front of Cam. The wedge that came between Cam and Jim is Jim's success. Cam always looked at him as being the star, Jim being Capo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's kind of like Sammy the Bull becoming John Gotti. You know what I'm saying? Gotti's probably gonna feel a little way if Sammy becomes the main man. You know what I'm saying? And in that situation, that's what it is. Jim started to grow as an artist. And as he started to grow as an artist, he started moving from standing behind Cam to he started standing next to Cam. And then it got to a point where he stood in front of Cam. Mm-hmm. And Cam was looking him over his shoulder like, yo, what you doing? And then that built the animosity. And by the time Ballin' hit, Cam had a gang of animosity and internal hatred. And I know because I seen it, I was there. I felt like he was a fucking hater because like I felt like he was supposed to be happy for Jim. He was under the wing. Jim was the muscle. You get what I'm saying? Jim he's Cam's partner. But he's taking a step back to play.
When Jim went from standing behind Cam to standing beside him and eventually becoming a star in his own right, the dynamic changed. What once looked like brotherhood slowly turned into competition. And competition, when mixed with ego, can rewrite memories and create tension. This wasn't just about music anymore. It became about legacy, respect, and who really held the foundation of Dipset together when the spotlight was on and when the pressure was heavy. What made everything explode now isn't new disrespect. It's old history meeting new microphones. Podcast culture and social media turned private moments into public debates, and suddenly people who weren't even around back then are picking sides. Jim's stance has always been the same. He doesn't chase rumors, he doesn't live in comment sections, and he doesn't pause his life to correct every narrative. He stands on what he did, how he moved, and the role he played in protecting, building, and pushing the movement forward. Silence gets mistaken for weakness in today's world, but sometimes it's confidence. The kind that comes from knowing your story can't be erased by clips or headlines. At the end of the day, this isn't about who talks the loudest, it's about what people choose to believe. Some laugh at the drama, some feel the truth, and some just come for entertainment. But once names are mentioned and history is reopened, the line between past and present disappears. And what was once a chapter becomes a battle over how the whole story will be remembered.
Cam and Jim history go back before me. You understand what I'm saying? When I met Cam and Jim, they were super close. So I honestly don't really know Jim being from the Bronx and all that. You know what I'm saying? When I met them, they was in 5H, which is, you know what I'm saying, Jim's apartment, and that's, you know, like, I guess that time was after all the stuff Cam had said already with the Children of the Corn and Jim, you know, whatever he said, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, when I got there, Cam and Jim was like this, super tight. Mase wasn't even in the picture. I don't know Mase like that, you know what I'm saying? Every time I seen Mase, it's been a mutual, you know what I'm saying, respect there. So, you know, that's what that's been as far as me and Mase, you know what I'm saying? As far as, yeah, when I met Cam and Jim, they were already Trump tight and locked in. You understand what I'm saying? The Diplomats was already a name they had. You know what I'm saying? I don't sit there and claim I made the dip, so that's not something I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I made Dipset though, the two. Yeah, I did that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the internet gets kind of crazy with the lies. The lies get going crazy on the internet.
I mean, well, the lies start from a narrative, and the narrative starts from a person, and you just got to look at it like that. But I've never been one in my life to care about clearing up no rumors. Like that just takes time out of my day from making money. I know who I am. I'm very comfortable in my skin. I stand 10 toes down on everything I believe in. I don't change my pivot, and everybody knows that. I mean, as you can see, I would not be here if I did anything else but be me.
Stop tricking out their freedom, bro. This is gonna be the last time I address this. Whatever you got to say after this, good luck. I wish you luck. I got other shit to do. This is not on my motherfucking plate. Believe what you want to believe, because I got other things to do. You feel me, Murder? I ain't want to snap one of them nose, but yeah, I'm good.
Here goes some popcorn stats.
But now people got these platforms where, you know, they asking people, so it's like a thin line. So then you got Jim, like, it's just like people say, you can't respond, even though Jim wasn't attacked, his name was mentioned. You understand what I'm saying? So now it opens the door for Jim to say something back. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? With these podcasts and shit like that. So it opens the door, and Jim chose to, you know, say why just on his dick. You know what I'm saying? That's how Jim chose to carry it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Cam chose to carry it the way Cam chose to carry it, and you have what you have now. You know what I'm saying? All I can say is Jim and Cam are very competitive. You understand what I'm saying? They've always been competitive, and it got to the point to where, you know, they had to be competitive against each other. I really looked at podcasts the other day. I was watching a bunch of podcasts. I'm like, it's crazy how all these old stories are getting everybody into so much trouble. These are just be old stories. Even like all that Cam said was something. He said all that on a live he did before, or pretty much like he did. You know what I mean? When him and Jim had some words, you know, they weren't on the best of terms years ago. So, you know, it's just new to the new listeners. You know what I'm saying? And the new internet fans and the new people that are on, you know, these podcasts and listening to these podcasts. So, you know, this is just like a double back of something that happened a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, did this again? You know what I'm saying? Regardless of, like I said, you know, because I have my own issues with, you know what I mean? Behind the scenes, or whatever the case may be. We all probably have our own issues behind the scenes with